Hello and welcome to our Code4Kids course of my first website, lesson number 4, called Let's Go Shopping. This is the final lesson in the My First Website course, and it's all about tables and teaching your learners how to insert tables into their website. And obviously a really important tool. The way the lesson's set up, we hope that it's really exciting for both you and your learners. As I mentioned, this is the final lesson. Hereafter, we recommend looking at the projects folder and seeing what you can get your learners to make there, and by bringing all their different tools together from the first lesson where they learned about headers and paragraphs, the second lesson about images, the third lesson about lists, and then this final lesson on tables. So those project templates will bring it all together. It's often nice to align it to something in your current curriculum, or they can make one on their school and send that to parents, principals, and teachers. Right, let's have a look at task number 1. On line 6, remove the question mark and write your name. So here we have the same setup. We've got our tables on the right. We're looking at HTML table. We are going to have a look at the different tags. We are learning about an opening or a closing tag for a table. So obviously without the /, this one is an opening tag, and all we want the learners to do is delete the incorrect answer. Right, in this lesson we have asked you to discuss this. Do you observe the TR, TH and TD below? A nice question to pose to your learners. We are looking at a TR. Now that makes the table row. So in this first row we should have year and grade, which we do. The TH is the table header, so that's looking in bold. TD is table data, where we are filling in the next couple of rows. We want the learners to fill in the question marks. What grade were they in 2016? Let's start with grade 3. Here we know we need to follow suit. 2017 would be grade 4, 2018 would be grade 5, and 2019 would be grade 6. We now want them to add the year 2020, so we're missing 2020 and grade 7. Task number 5, we want them to add the year 2021 and 2022. So now we're just leaving out a little bit more. They may type in the opening and closing tags as well as the grades. I'm just going to copy and paste it here. And then we've left out an entire table row. We want to add a whole new one with the table data of 2022. So we need to copy and paste that whole thing in. So each time leaving out a little bit more, but getting them to understand exactly what is making up a table. Task number 6, how many rows and columns are there in the table above? We've got 8 rows and 2 columns. Columns going down, rows going across. Nice way to learn it here, because you are putting in the table row yourself. Challenge, can you add a third column called age? So we haven't done this yet. We've got 2 columns. How would we make another column? The best way to do it is to go to your table header. And obviously if you want a third one, you can copy in that table header. And we're going to change that to age. So that's made it there. Now what we need to do is, there's no tag for column, but it is table data. And so we put it in there. And there we have completed our first table. Can you add up until you are 18 years old? So here's another nice challenge. For those who are pushing a little bit harder, they can only add 3 more, or depending on their age, they obviously have to add a few more. So those are the 2 challenges there. We're not going to look at style, but here we can see we've got the open and share button at the bottom with the table link, Riddle, My Shop, and Times Table. So we're going to move across to the Riddle. So this is my school tuck shop, and we're going to work out the item and price. This lesson is very focused on maths, but it's also got a creative element as well. So we're looking at the school tuck shop. We've got a little riddle here. 2 items of a donut and popcorn cost $15. Let's try and work out the price of each item. We have given a little clue at the bottom that the first sweet is $2.50. So your learners will hopefully have a look and see that we can isolate the donut, and so that will be $5. And we're done. It's a nice quick one, just to get their brains flowing, because the My Shop is all about maths. We've done the first one for them. We can fill in your name here as it usually starts. And now we move on to the My Shop. So we're looking at all these different products that we have in our shop. Got the cost of them, the number that we sold, and the total that we earned of them. We've got a final total earned right at the bottom. Right, so if I sold 3 ice creams for a total of 18, it must have been at $6 each. If it cost me $5 for 1 slice of pizza and I earned 25, 5 pieces. Simple maths, but really important. Right, and then they can add all of these up. Quite nice to get them using maybe a piece of paper or whiteboard where they can actually do the sums themselves. Looking at a total of 173. Right, so we filled in the entire table, but they want us to edit some of the internal CSS. This is the first time we've dealt with internal CSS. Add a color and background to your header. So usually we do inline CSS where we're just changing either the heading My Shop up there or down there, or we can change just the word product, or we've changed our own name or the background color over there. Internal CSS changes a whole lot of different things. So for example, this will change the heading. It's for us to be a little bit more uniform. Right, so let's look at the different colors we can use here. We want to change color there. Discuss what the hash ID means. What does the ID point to? Do you know about ID? So an ID is an identity document. Each human has one that is unique to them. This is the same for internal CSS. This here, it's unique just to the header. Once you've had a nice discussion about IDs, about humans having IDs and now internal CSS having a similar kind of ID, you can move on to task 5. Change the border style, width and colors of the hashtag total ID. So we're going to either choose solid, dashed or dotted. Let's have a look. Okay, so here we were only looking at the total column. It changed it to yellow, light green. We've got a black border. It's 5 pixels and the border style at the bottom only is dashed. Task number 6, make the background color light gray and the color gray for sold out. The ID is hash sold out. Want that to be light and the color to be gray so we can see that the hot dog has the ID sold out. Task 7, also make ice cream sold out. How will we do this? Always a nice thing to do in coding is to have a look at the one before. So if hot dog is sold out and it's got the ID, you can see that the table row ID is pointing to sold out. So it's going to go and reach for the sold out ID. If we want to do that for ice cream as well, we need to type it in. Add an ID bestseller to avocados. So now we're going to go back up to avocados. We're going to go to the ID and we're going to write bestseller. And there our bestsellers now has a border of red. Challenge 1, add your own ID vegetarian below and link it to the correct vegetarian items in your shop. Okay, so let's copy another ID that we already have. So we can paste that in there. We're going to call it vegetarian. Okay, now nothing's happened here because we've only created the ID. We now need to go and give one of the items in our shop that is vegetarian this ID. So I'm going to choose the watermelon and I'm going to paste vegetarian into the ID and it should go medium, spring green and green. That is my shop, a really, really cool one. It's the first introduction to internal CSS. And finally, we come to our last tab of the lesson. Here it is a challenge. We've got an exciting two-way table that goes from 1 to 7 at the top and then 4 to 10 on the side. And we want to fill in the missing times table. So firstly, we're getting learners just to fill in over here, so not touching the T head. And so filling in only the table data. As you can see, if you multiply 4 by 2, you get 8. And so filling in all of those table datas. Don't worry too much about what's highlighted in orange just yet. Thereafter, in challenge number 2, we want them to add numbers so the table includes the 1 to 12 times table. We want them to now edit the table header so that there's above 4 on this one, all the way up to and all the way down to 12. What's going to arise then as we move to challenge 3, it says, can you see a pattern on your multiplication table? Fill in the background colors of any numbers where you can see this pattern. So what we've created here is a class. These classes are where we can select a number of different things here. An ID would just point to one specific element, whereas the classes can point to many. Yeah, we can find the class here of square. You can see it's preceded by a full stop. So that's going to point to everything where we see a square number. Whereas here, we've got the ID, which is only going to point to one individual unique element. And that concludes our lesson number 4 on My Shop. We really hope you enjoy the lesson. Do look at the projects for your next lesson, and all the best for teaching it.